Good evening and welcome to yet another London vlog. So today I've got a confession to make, and that's I'm kind of bored of photographing London, to be honest. Every time I have to try to pick a new place to photograph, it's kind of like not really picking a new place. It's more like picking which place I should revisit again, and it kind of feels like I've been everywhere. I've taken all the shots, and of course no two sunsets are the same, and often the inspiration's different, so you can get different photos by revisiting the same location, which I'm all for, but often when deciding where to go, I often struggle to decide where to go because I'm just simply bored and kind of been everywhere. So today's vlog has a different story though, and I want to talk to you guys about what drove the inspiration today. So I got an email from a guy who I had sold a print to before, and he asked me a very specific question. He's like, I'm looking for a London Underground sign that says London Bridge on it as well. If you have a photo like that, I'd love to buy a print of you. So I was like, well, my first reaction was, sorry man, I don't have that kind of print in stock, or I've never taken that photo, so I simply can't sell you that print, and sorry I can't help you on this occasion. But then I thought to myself, do you know what, challenge accepted. How about I go out and I'll go and shoot that photo for you, and if you like it, and really only if you like it, then I'll sell it to you, and yeah, you'll have a print exactly that you wanted. Now, I mean, I do admit that's complete overkill, and usually I would never go to those kind of lengths to take a photo, but I thought, do you know what, since I'm a little bit low on inspiration right now and where to go, I was like, well, that's a cool creative brief, challenge accepted, and sounds like a cool story anyway. So I thought I'd make a vlog about it, how we're going to go about trying to get this shot for the guy and see if he's happy with it and if he ends up buying the print. And the added incentive, of course, is cash money as well, right? Can't deny that. So if this all goes well and according to plan, I'll have some extra cash in my bank account, and that's also always a welcome plus. So yeah, I thought that was a cool creative brief. So right now we're actually at the monument to the Great Fire of London, which is pretty close to London Bridge. Gonna head over there and try to see if we can get a set photograph. Now again, like I said, it's completely overkill to go to this length just to sell one print, but I'm also going to kill a few birds with one stone. Since we're in the area anyway and we're approaching sunset, of course, knowing me, that's exactly what we're going to be photographing as well. So kind of asked myself what locations are good around London Bridge to photograph, and Tower Bridge is definitely the winner. Yeah, killing lots of birds with one stone. Of course, I've been to this location for Tower Bridge many times before, but that's not stopping me. Got this whole plan in mind tonight, and let's stop talking about it and let's go do it. So before coming here, I went onto Instagram to do some location scouting, and this is one of the places that really stood out for me. Check this out. Just up here we got the underground sign, and it says London Bridge just below it. So that's really perfect. And what really stood out for me about the shot is the shard in the background. That makes for an amazing backdrop, and that's exactly what I wanted to capture. And in order to do so, I really wanted the underground sign to stand out from the background. And what better way to do that than to use a portrait lens? And that's exactly what I've gone for. I'm using my 85mm 1.4 lens, which means if you open the aperture up to 1.4, it gives you incredible depth of field control, and the bokeh, which is the out of focus area, is absolutely insane on an 85mm portrait lens, and I used that technique on the sign. So tried to get the subject, obviously the underground sign, super sharp, and in the background you just got that buttery smooth shard fading away in the background with that beautiful evening light coming through, because we're almost in the golden hour. So I think we're already on to a winner here. Super happy with the shot, it looks amazing, but let me stop hyping it and show it to you guys, and then you decide for yourself. Here it is. We do have a bit more time left before sunset's in full effect, so right now just walking around the station and just doing some location scouting to see if there's another few spots that might fit the brief. So remember, it had to be an underground sign and it had to say London Bridge on it, so not that easy to find actually, but yeah, just walking around the underground station, maybe we can find another cool spot that ticks those boxes, and then later on the way home I'll definitely be going down there going through the ticket barriers, heading down, and then there'll definitely be some great underground signs on platform level, but that's only on the way home. So until then, still got a sunset to go in the meantime. Not feeling this either. Look how filthy dirty that is. I don't think that's gonna fly, so let's keep searching. So having walked through London Bridge Station for quite a few minutes more, I couldn't really find another good photo opportunity, believe it or not. Didn't think it would be so difficult to be in an underground station and struggle to find a good looking underground sign, but that's the case. So a lot of them were really dirty, or just the whole composition didn't really work for me, or they were more functional than beautiful, right? It's just to get the travelers from A to B, clearly point out underground that way, and not really there for great photo opportunities, which is, I guess that's what station's all about. So that's all good. At least we've got one photo in the bag regarding that underground sign already, but now I've decided to change my priorities for the time being, and that's to catch this beautiful sunset developing behind me. Look at that, looking really good. So yeah, conditions are amazing, like you can tell for yourself, and let's try get to a beautiful spot where we can set up the camera and turn all of this beautiful glow into some amazing photographs. Really excited. Let's go do this.
I know we ain't talked in a minute, but it's time. Living in the thoughts and the visions, but between the lines, yeah. I can't even talk with the visions there in my mind, 'cause every time I fall, I can feel you there.
So I've been reflecting a little bit more on what I said right at the beginning of this video, where I said I'm kind of bored of photographing London, and yes, that is true. But at the same time, I also kind of feel, being a photographer, London is the ultimate city to live in. It's got so much diversity, so much going on, and it's incredibly difficult to become bored of photographing London. So I've been photographing it for 2 years now, seizing every single opportunity I can to keep chasing those perfect shots. And yeah, after a while, you've kind of been to a lot of places, but still my love for the city is undying, and definitely going to still keep photographing London. I didn't say I'd stop, so definitely keeping strong there. Another great thing to remember about London is it never stands still. There's always a lot happening, a lot going on, a lot of cool events coming to town. So for example, a few weeks ago, Pride was here, which made for beautiful photo opportunities, and right now we're in the middle of summer, but come winter, of course, there's Christmas, beautiful decorations, Christmas lights, and yeah, London does keep changing, always reinventing itself new, and lots of beautiful photos to be had along the way. So boredom, take it with a pinch of salt. This is still an amazing place, and I love photographing London. So brings me to my next point. It's low tide at the moment, and let's head down to the beach of the Thames and try to see if we can get a beautiful photo there for Tower Bridge and the city in the background, and sunset, of course. So right now we're on the beach of the Thames, and this place is actually only accessible during low tide, so that coupled with sunset is a pretty great combination, and been wanting to get the shot for a very long time, so that's super cool. Just walking around to find the perfect composition to get this bad boy in shot, but yeah, this is really cool. But you really got to know London quite well to find these kind of spots, and you also got to be a little bit careful, because obviously the tide will come in at some point, and that means it's, well, at best, I guess, some wet feet, some wet socks, but if it gets even worse, I mean, you could even ruin your camera equipment if it gets completely wet. And if it gets even worse, which, fingers crossed, and this would be extreme case and hope that doesn't happen, you could even die and drown. So I'm gonna try to avoid that tonight, but try to get some photos instead. So let's rather stick with that premise and get out the tripod and focus on the good. So look at these tones developing behind me. Sun's already set, and this is just the very last bit of that afterglow. These tones have been incredible tonight. Got a lot of orange, a lot of pink in there if you look really careful. and that's made for some amazing photos. So those of you who know me quite well, and those who don't, it doesn't matter, I'll explain it. So I love incorporating a bit of water in my shots. I just love the feel of it and the look of it, and no better place to come in than Thames, of course. And that's why I've kind of set up my tripod here, there it is, along the edge of the water, because I want to capture some water, a bit of the shore as my foreground, and then use the bridge as a background with the sunset behind it. And in order to do so, I've opted to do some long exposures. Got the neutral density filters out, 6 stop in this case, just attached to the front of the camera there. And with this low light situation, it allowed for shutter speeds of up to 2 minutes even. So always love a good long exposure, especially with water, because it makes the water all silky smooth, and get a tiny bit of cloud movement in the sky as well, which turned out really beautiful. But don't take it from me. As always, judge for yourself. Let's head over to the camera and I'll show you my results. So sunset's firmly behind us now, and so is Tower Bridge, and it's time to stop shooting. Got some beautiful sunset glow, really happy for shots, but now I think it's time to get back to our mission, which was, of course, to get that London Underground sign of the London Bridge station. So definitely still keen to complete that little challenge, which is the reason we headed down here in the first place. So got my camera strapped in, because you can't use tripods down in the station, so we're going to be going for handheld shots, and also moved away from the 85mm prime this time around, using an 18mm wide angle lens, because I think that'll be the good focal length down there on the platform level for trains, to capture as much of the scene as possible. A little bit of the platform I'm aiming for, as well as that underground sign. So that's the idea in my head. Let's head back into the station and see if we can make this happen. And we're back. So armed with the camera, on a mission. Let's head in there and let's hopefully get that shot that makes the person happy and ends up in me selling a print. So fingers crossed we can make that happen. I'm definitely going to give it my best shot, and that's all you can do at the end of the day, right? So gonna get the Oyster card out, tap in, and let's make this happen. Okay, so I think I found something that I can use, and that's obviously this sign right here. And that was also on my research when I did some location scouting on Instagram, just by searching on the location London Bridge, flicked through the photos to see what might work, and this platform level shot was one of them. But I didn't want to shoot the logo just face on, because that's a bit boring and nothing special to the shot. So what I wanted to do is make use of these leading lines here that run all along the platform. You got these beautiful lit up signs along the edge, as well as these lights at the top, and gives you real tunnel vision and sense of depth. And another thing I looked out for is to get a few people in my shot, sometimes motion blur to show a sense of motion and the hecticness of the station. So I went for a slow shutter speed just to blur the people a bit, but then I also went for some high shutter speed shots just to get maybe 1 or 2 people in isolation, just to show a bit of sense of scale of this station and just how long it is. So that was kind of my thought process. Took about 100 shots, and going to be sifting through them on the train journey just to find 1 or 2 that might work, and hopefully we're on to a winner. But train's actually just busy arriving. I'm going to hop on this one, and we'll catch up with you guys when I'm home. Just leaving the tube at the moment and almost home, as well as being done shooting for tape, because it's night now and it's getting late. So this is usually the part in the vlog where I say thank you for watching, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah, see you next time. But not today, because like I said earlier, I took all these photos in the hopes of getting a sale and selling the print. And if, and only if, the guy who wanted that photo is actually genuinely happy with it, because that's what I'm all about. I only want to sell prints that people are genuinely happy with anyway. Otherwise there's really no point. So that being said, I'm gonna go home and edit these shots now, and then I'm gonna check back with you guys in a couple days to find out whether this vlog has a happy or sad ending, because we don't know yet. Is the guy gonna be happy for shots and buy them, or is he gonna say thanks but no thanks? Stay tuned, and I'll check in with you guys in a couple of days. Bye for now. And we're back. So it's a few days later now, and let me tell you how the story concluded. So the guy was happy with the shots, and he did end up picking one and did end up purchasing it. So that's a great win, and I'm really stoked about that. Obviously, besides the money coming in, I also consider that a great honor, and it's I appreciate the recognition, because I believe in putting your money where your mouth is, and that's the ultimate compliment, that somebody's willing to spend their hard-earned money on something I created creatively and is willing to put that in their own home. So that really means a lot to me, and I was chuffed to have that come to fruition in the end. So really happy about that. And the shot he actually ended up picking was the one with the motion blur on the platform of the people rushing past me, and I think it's kind of awesome because that also happened to be my own personal favorite shot. So that's another bonus, and really happy about that. But ultimately it's not about which shot I liked the most, but which shot he liked the most. Okay, so before I keep rambling on any further, it's time to put this video to an end. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm kind of going through a creative drought at the moment, and here's where I'd appreciate your input. If you have any future suggestions for future London videos, perhaps some places I've never been to before, some new places for me to explore, as well as if you have future suggestions for editing tutorials or any shooting techniques you'd like me to teach you, I'd appreciate if you let me know about those in the comments below, and I'd love to turn your ideas into future videos. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this video in the meantime. If you enjoyed watching, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that thumbs up button below, because your like really makes a difference. And lastly, if you're new around here, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button below, and I hope to see you on future adventures. Thanks for watching, and good night.